There are so many foreigners in Nigeria. I've done videos a while back when I talked about the foreigners that are residents in Nigeria. And there are Kenyans, there are Zambians, Mozambicans, so many of them, and those from the Western world as well as Asians in Nigeria. Why I want to react to those videos, this is coming from a place of honest opinion. So this is the honest opinion of a Kenyan resident in Nigeria.
Walking down the streets, feeling the breeze, in the sunshine state where dreams come with ease. Palm trees swaying with the ocean in view. This is the place where I always feel brand new. Sipping on a smoothie, chilling by the shore. Got my shades on, feeling like I can't be ignored. Sun-kissed skin, feeling so alive in the soft rap game. I strive to thrive. Waves crashing on the sand as I ride the vibe. Soft rap flowing.
You will be shocked to realize that so many Kenyans actually live in Nigeria. I live in Lagos, there are those in Abuja, there are those in Ibadan, and we all have a big community here. And Nigeria is actually an African country like any other.
Just like she rightly stated, there are so many foreigners in Nigeria. There are so many people that do not know that will have a lot of foreigners in Nigeria, like Kenyans are so many here. Ghanaians are so many here. South Africans are here. So they have a Kenyan community. And it is always good when you go to people's land, try as much as possible to identify with your people there. It will help you in your associations. In case you have an issue that will arise, your people will gather together. Those that understand your language, you'll be able to communicate as sisters or as brothers.
Funny enough, there have been in situations where I had to pick living in Nigeria over some European countries. Some places in the Europe, I'd rather stay here because I know there are many factors that come into play when I'm choosing a place ya kuishi, and when my hubby and I are deciding, okay, are we going to take up this job or not? So for us, we are here for work. And yes, is Nigeria a good place? It is actually. The people are nice, the people are friendly. They're only aggressive because this is the world that they were born into. They came in and realized, oh, we are dealing with a bunch of corrupt people who don't care about us. So most of them are struggling to make it out. And that's why there's a lot of japaing. To japa is to leave Nigeria, go live in another place. Are there challenges that we are facing? Of course, plenty.
Tell them, sis. You see, there are so many foreigners who prefer staying in Nigeria over staying in other places. I know she may not want to mention names or something like that, but if you come to Nigeria, you may likely not want to relocate to another nation. Forget that we Nigerians would like to jackpot. Nigerians are not jackpotting because they hate the nation. See, it's in us to first of all relocate. We want to look for places of greener pastures, arable land. We just want to conquer nations. We want to make it more. It is in the DNA of Nigerians to naturally migrate. What I'm saying is, Nigeria is a very beautiful place. I think it's mostly because of the kind of people you see here. Yes, the warm nature of Nigerians would definitely make you want to stay, even if you want to go. Nobody wants to stay in a place where they are uncomfortable and where there is no love or warmth, except if they are making huge money there. But for Nigeria, the warmth nature of Nigerians will actually keep you rooted where you are if you're a foreigner. We Nigerians may not notice it because we grew up here, we are used to it. But yes, there are so many people that will want to pick Nigeria over other nations.
And yes, is Nigeria a good place? It is actually. The people are nice, the people are friendly. It's just that there is a few of the characters who make it impossible for the entire world to trust Nigerians. Nigerians are not bad people. Get it from me. I have interacted with these guys.
There are good places and bad places in Nigeria, and there are good people and bad people in Nigeria. That is the simple truth. It's very much impossible for you to go to a land and everybody will be good. Forget the fact that so many people are pretending about their nations. There are good people everywhere, there are bad people everywhere. And when you talk about Nigeria, it's mostly internet scamming, drug dealing. There are drug dealers everywhere. But please, those of you engaging in drugs, you are tarnishing our image. You better stop it. And for those of you doing internet scam, it is wrong. Online love scam is wrong. Some of our youth these days, I don't know what is wrong with so many of you. That resilient nature, that hardworking nature should be imbibed in you. Use it positively, not in a negative way. I don't see why some of you will be dragging elderly women online, claiming you are in love with them, knowing fully well that you don't like them, just to suck them dry. It is not just in Nigeria. So many youths are doing that, and they feel it is a get-rich-quick measure. It is wrong. You need to stop it. So yes, these are the little things that are tarnishing our image, but you know that they magnify them. So imagine in a nation of more than 230 million people, and maybe 10 guys committed fraud. Before you know it, you are dragging millions, hundreds of millions of people over just hundreds, or even not even up to hundreds of people. You see, it is wrong.
Are there challenges that we are facing? Of course, plenty. Is Kenya better than Nigeria? Yeah, there are some things which are really, I'd say I'd go home anytime and be in Kenya anytime, because I'm a foreigner. But remember, these people are here and this is their home. They have food, they have good housing, actually infrastructure yao iko mzuri. Only that I don't know, corruption really is killing the economy of Nigeria, because but again, I mean, for lack of a better word, Nigeria is just like any other African economy.
Each country do have their strengths and their weaknesses. While Nigeria may be better than Kenya in some areas, Kenya will also be better than Nigeria in some areas. For example, if I go to Kenya, there are certain things I may see there and I will be like, what? I need to go back home. Or whenever I remember that, I will remember my home and I will know. And I will still say that, oh, home, sweet home. So there are so many Nigerians abroad or in America that there are days they will be like, oh, I wish I'm in Nigeria. Like Nigeria is way, way, way better than what I am getting or than what I'm feeling, or, you know, depending on you. You were born there. You grew up there. So it is the same thing with we Nigerians. No nation do have it all. There are flaws and there are strengths, right? So yes, it is very normal for a Kenyan to feel that there are things in Kenya that she would definitely pick over Nigeria. The same is with us. There are so many things about Nigeria that we will any day, any time pick over Kenya. So let's proceed. My dear sister, you are correct. Corruption is a very big deal in Africa generally. I do not know whether they are in a coven, whether it is in the waters that they drink. There is deep-rooted corruption in Nigeria, just like in other African nations. And I don't know why. I am not saying that people in the Western world are not corrupt, but my dear, people in Africa are heartless. Corruption is one of the problems we are facing in this nation, Nigeria. If truly we want to be honest with ourselves, like you begin to ask yourself what is going on. People in the government parastatal are corrupt. The citizens are corrupt because the citizens are the ones that make up the government or the political leaders. There was once a time, I think it was during the last regime, there were governors that came in. They were normal citizens like me and you, just that they were wealthy. They were elected into governorship and senatorial positions. And when they became political leaders, they became worse than the people that were there before them. So you begin to see that there is something, there is a problem there. I do not know whether it is in their political seats or in their house, but sure, there is a problem. And politics is the problem of both Nigeria and Africa at large. And we really, really need to work on it. It is eating us deep.
And it's a nice place to live. Insecurity is a problem. Yes. But it depends on where you stay and who you are hanging with. Sis,
you just took the words out of my mouth. Insecurity is relative. It depends on where you are. There is no nation that is 100% secure. Every nation has their secure parts. Every nation has their insecure parts. In fact, every nation do have both security and insecurity at the same time. It depends on where you are and the measure. While there are regions that may be more insecure, it does not mean that there are regions in that same nation that do not have maximum security. So yes, I agree with you on that. If you ask me, I would say also that insecurity in Nigeria is mostly political. I'm not talking about insecurity in terms of normal street theft. I'm talking about all these Boko Haram this, Fulani herdsmen this, Benue killing, just killing, this and that. Most of these are politically motivated. And like I said, politics is dealing with us in this nation, crowned with tribalism. So yes, sis, you're absolutely correct. I agree with what you said. And I do not know when this will be over. There are places you will go to in this nation, they've not even heard of gunshot before. But there are places you will go to in this nation, insecurity is eating deep into them. Many people are losing their loved ones, and it is wrong on so many levels. I pray our government will do something about it and shift tribalism out of the way, and also shift political sentiment out of the way. Let's proceed.
And then there is the issue of electricity. Mamboza stima, of course, that's a challenge. And funny enough, Nigeria supplies most of the countries here with electricity. Had it been that hiyo power wangetumia kwao wenyewe, ingewasaidia, but this is the theory I get. So, in Nigeria, there's this story generators, right? So when there's no power, we use gen, which is like, I'm used to it already, and it's better because when there's blackouts, you have gen, so you are never really out of power. And you can also go solar energy, which is what I use for my house. Even right now I'm using solar, and it's a good thing because it can power everything in my house. But forget about that. So this gen thing is politically engineered such that there are people who are in this business yakuza generators. That's why if they are going to supply you with electricity every single day, it means that they don't have any market. It's a business. So many things are at stake. They have oil, like mafuta huku. The time I came to Nigeria, I remember petrol was going for an equivalent of about 33, 35 Kenya shillings. I guess right now it should be around 160. If I'm not 160, 130. Yeah. Bob per liter. So the petrol is also not as bad. Diesel is high because generators again. So the economy is fueled by so many things.
Yes, electricity is also a problem. Though we have band A, band B, band C, band D, and bands. Yes, band A do have maximum lights. That is taking that band A do have between 21 hours to 24 hours light. I think currently it is between 22 to 24 hours light. Although there are some cases whereby they may have this routine maintenance. So when it is being scheduled, they may want to take the lights so that they will routinely maintain either their transformers or their power lines or something like that. We also have band Bs, but overall, Nigeria do not have stable electricity generally. There are those that do have stable lights. There are those that have enough power supply, yes, while there are people whose lights tend to be very much epileptic. And yes, let me also let you know, it is going to be very difficult to do away with epileptic power supply in Nigeria completely. Why? Because it is also a business venture for people. I'm going to give an example. Imagine if there is constant power supply in Nigeria. Those that are selling solar will go off the market. Those selling generator, they will go off the market. Those selling fuel, their market will reduce because it will only be to fuel the car. Yeah. So you will see that many people will not need to buy fuel to put in their generator. And of course, those with solar supply will lose their markets completely. So yes, not just that. I would say Nigeria supply gas or light to some neighboring nations. Yes, like Togo and like Benin Republic. Yes, and Togo. So what is going on? Why is it that they will supply such and they will not have? It's also a business venture for them. Remember, when they supply this, our KWH or whatever it is we generate tend to reduce. So imagine supplying light to a particular nation. We are going to also suffer the consequences. Why government will do what? Will generate tons of money from such. It is a business venture. We are not supplying those lights for free. Also, Nigeria supply gas to some nations to power their electricity. It is not for free. Although so many nations are owing us and they have refused to pay us. Meanwhile, they will come up and be shouting Nigerian this, Nigerian that. Alright, let's proceed.
And the other challenge would be maybe the healthcare. Not good, because most of the doctors when you Wazuru, they go abroad there. So if I wish Nigerians would find a way to retain their talent, then they would boost and grow this economy. It's like how Kenya saizi people are fighting. They're telling the president, we don't want to go anywhere. Sisi hatutaki kuenda mahali. We want to stay here. We are not looking for hizo jobs to go abroad. But now in Nigeria, the good talent inakuwa exported. People are mtu akipata opportunity anakwenda. But for me, any day I would still pick Nigeria even over some other bigger African countries, which some of you might be shocked nikisema, but I don't want to create that war. But it's actually safer in Nigeria than most other countries out there. It's only that here sasa escalate, and in some regions, maybe in some other regions unapata kuna hiyo Boko Haram and what have you, which the inaitwago aje, their defense uko north, because I also live with I've interacted with people from the north, and the stories are sad, but you see, all these things are political in nature. That is at least from the research I've gotten. If you have any more information of what is causing the insecurity in Nigeria to escalate so much, let me know. But wakati mali penye mumeingiza hii wazungu, mkiwaleta kwa any African countries, they only come to destroy.
For the medical sector, it is an issue. Our doctors are not properly paid. Not just our doctors. Our healthcare workers are not well paid compared to how much they are being paid in the Western world. That's what I'm saying. Also, some of our consultants, all these big men, they refuse to leave the seat for the young doctors to grow. And so, so many of them want to chapa. Some of you medical consultants, you need to give way to the young ones. The young shall grow, the young shall grow. But you are the one stampeding or marching on them, preventing them from growing. How will doctors grow? How will their salaries be increased? If you, the consultant, at age 70, you've refused to leave that seat. Some of you retain those seats for your generations. Your children will school abroad. They will live abroad and come back to Nigeria to work. Meanwhile, our people that schooled here, there is no place for them to work. It is wrong. Also, our government will need to equip our medical centers with enough medical facilities. You want to operate, you will not get enough facility. We need equipment. Yes. However, some states are doing well. I must say the simple truth. There are states that are not doing well medically in terms of their medical facilities, but there are states that are doing amazing. Let us call a spade a spade. There are hospitals in this nation that when you walk into these hospitals, you will think you are abroad. There are private hospitals that are doing amazing. It is just that the funding may be high. It may be too expensive for a typical Nigerian to afford. So please, government, you need to do something about it. It is not just in Nigeria. generally Africa. Many nations are protesting. If you go to some neighboring nations, people are going on strike here and there. Doctors are going on strike, nurses are going on strike, health workers are going on strike. For how long shall we continue to suffer in our nations? I'm talking to Africans generally, not just in Nigeria. So yes, let's proceed.
But their economy is large. Do they have resources? They do. The rich here, wealthy, not rich. They're here in Nigeria. People are sharp here, business oriented, driven, motivated, like they're aggressive. Any people who work hard because it's a service. I call it a service industry, and it's crowded.
Yes, sis, I agree with you. The economy of Nigeria is robust. The purchasing power in this nation, Nigeria, is very high. And that is why when you buy things in Nigeria and you travel outside the nation, even in other neighboring nations, you begin to wonder. You begin to ask what's going on. Yes, in Nigeria, with little, you can afford a lot. You can afford to buy a lot. That is basically for those coming from outside Nigeria. For we Nigerians, of course, we may not notice it, okay, because we live here. Also, it is also in ratio with what we are being paid. But overall, Nigeria is very much affordable. We don't need a soothsayer to say that. Nigerians are smart. We are smart people. We are resilient, yes. You see, Nigeria, maybe because of our population, there is that competition amongst us. That thing you are thinking about doing, someone had already started doing it. In fact, someone is already making money from doing it. It is who we are here. There is no time to waste time in Nigeria. No time to start dragging government in Nigeria, because most times our government do not have our time. So we don't depend on our government. We try to do things the way we can. That is how we are here in Nigeria. Hope you understand. So yes, Nigeria is a nation of good, hardworking, and resilient people. So if you do not know that, start knowing that. For those of you that want to come to Nigeria, people here no send government. We are for ourselves. Yes, there are some government officials that are doing their best. I will not criticize all government officials, no. I will not criticize all political leaders. Go to some states, you will see for yourself. Go to some communities, there are people doing amazing. Yes, but the bad ones, the terrible ones, the terrible leaders are more. And only God could judge on that. Alright, let us proceed.
So again, but the jobs, are they, another thing, jobs, are they well paying? No, they don't really pay as good if you are looking to come here, especially with the Naira. If you're gonna come to Nigeria, maybe you want to live here or work here, I'd prefer, if you're coming, try and look for an international firm, or if they are in Nigeria, if they can get you in as an expert and pay you in dollars, the better, so that you can have a bargaining power over the losses in FX. Because upper, the Naira can be 1,000 today, tomorrow it is 1,400, and the prices of goods change immediately. Like today you'd buy diapers. Personally, I am buying diapers right now. Over the last time I bought diapers, nearly by a pack of 56 yenye inauzwa about 1,600 in Nairobi. I bought it at about 4,000 Kenya shillings equivalent, na inaenda ikipanda. So some of the things are actually quite expensive, but then they offset mali pengine. So
yes, you are correct. In terms of Naira, Naira is unstable, not just today. It didn't start today. However, since the economic reform and Naira was floated, things changed drastically. So the summary of it is this: it is better to earn in dollars than to earn in Naira. Alright? The prices of goods in this nation, the prices of services in this nation can easily change. Yes. Naira tends to affect things in this nation. It's not like in some nations whereby their currency is crashing, but the prices of their goods are skyrocketing. No. In Nigeria, Naira affects how things are being purchased in this nation. So please, if you can negotiate and get a multinational company or maybe a Nigerian company that can pay you in dollars or in pounds, better for you. Let us just start telling ourselves the truth. And that is a simple truth. All right, let us proceed.
That's how we are surviving, and it's not a bad place to live in. Their culture is actually very nice and beautiful. They are beautiful people. I love how respectful they are. If you meet Nigerians, I'm going to tell you that these people ni watu wako na heshima than any other people I've ever met out there before. They are loud, yes, because that's how they resolve their problems. They talk. They are loud, and it's not like they are fighting. They are just naturally loud. They are not fighting. That's how they are, because it's their world. It's their world, really. And if you get used to them, you realize that the notion out there, it's just like how what these guys show on the TV is about the African countries. Wakionyesha Africa, they just see people who are starving. Huko ndo wanaonyesha. They don't show the Africa that it is today. So Nigeria, much as they have challenges like any other place, it's a nice place to live. I would invite you all as well to come and visit Nigeria, but maybe to see their different cultures, because they have really carried forward their cultures till date. I'm even happy when I go to school, my son is integrated into these different cultures, and they like, it's something they hold dearly when it comes to the dressing, their practices, their foods. Like, they hold a meaning, and I actually love that. I love that everything they do is being carried over for a few generations, and they're making sure that their children, the younger generation, is picking it up, which is something that, for me, from my country, we are losing it, because we are more westernized than any other place.
Respect is something we don't joke with in Nigeria. And that's the simple truth, okay? Nigeria is a typical African nation. And in Africa, we value respect. I do not know about other nations, but I know about Nigeria. Okay, we respect our elders here to the best of my knowledge, and it is being imbibed into us, even amongst the tribes. We are respectful people, although there are tribes that are more respectful, if you ask me, than others. At least they will show that physical respect when they want to talk to their elders, irrespective of your age. Whether you are 5 years older than them or 3 years older than them, they respect you. There are also people that are naturally respectful, whether they are older than you or not. Yes. So respect is a thing in Nigeria. We respect, you can go places in Nigeria. We respect, you can enter places that many people may not be able to enter. In fact, in Nigeria, you may not have money, but you may have connection. You may have respect. In Nigeria, respecting your elders or respecting people and your manner of approach may get you where you may not dream of getting to. So yes, it is a thing here. You are correct, sis.
Well, the tourism side, I wouldn't say that they fetch a lot from that side, unless you guys can educate me if the tourism industry is doing well, but no much.
Yes, I agree with you to some extent. Why? Because we do not have much publicity on our tourism sector. Okay, why? Because Nigeria is mostly an oil nation. Currently, they started diversifying to agriculture and to tourism. Alright, it's just that before now, tourism is not really the niche that boosts our economy. Unlike in some nations that thrive only on tourism or mostly on tourism, Nigeria is mostly on oil and agriculture, but mostly oil. So yes, but currently there has been a reform on our sector of tourism. You will be surprised that Nigeria has so many tourist sites, more than any nation in Africa. It is just that so many of us do not know. Nigeria is so big. There are thousands of places that need to be visited. I did a video about foreigners coming to Nigeria to tour.
Yeah, that's a little bit of Nigeria. I can keep on sharing more, but it's not a bad place in general. Just that for them, the citizens, they japa a lot, wanakimbia, because what else can you do? I mean, are you going to stay in one place? You waste your life just because you're being patriot. They're not saying they're denouncing their country. They love their country, but sasa, you have to go out and look after yourself and your family.
And that is the simple truth.
Arise, O Nigerians, the ancestors call to thee. The spirits of the spirits, the echoes of strength, rings through the chosen. Arise, O the chosen ones, the giant of Africa. In unity we stand, in resilience we conquer. Africans are true to the ancient figure.